Tonight, from GEA.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. And we get a glance at their leader in the huddle, the veteran in his 9th season now in the league.
And last week's... came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They run with Wilkins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Off the option, here's Taylor. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Well, this defense for the... Niners very strong in that victory a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your...
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll drop to throw. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Chiefs are going to get a fresh set of downs. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB. They'll start here with Jackson.
And he's looking good now. I mean, 5 touchdown passes in the last game. Okay, he threw a couple of interceptions. That's a little bit of a concern. But I remember a basketball coach telling me one time he had a guy average about 40 points a game. And he said the press got all over him because he didn't play much defense. He said he's averaging over 40 a game. The guy against him's not scoring that. We still have the advantage.
Yeah, and they got the win last week in that effort.
Even better. It's always best to...
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. A big 17th touchdown now on the season.
And the 49ers are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. They'll set up a throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll look to throw here. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the reception made by Green. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
The Niners at 12-1 now to start play.
And they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. His his second TD of the game and 18th of the year.
And the 49ers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taking it about the 16. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
From the 31, here's a 2nd down and 6.
Back to throw.
Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell.
The quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st. Looking to throw.
Got his man, Dell.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Green. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Back to throw again.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 7 now. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw again.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the 49ers are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Let's go. 45.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught. Here's Langford. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw now on first down. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there just before halftime. 47 yards. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
And now a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. It's caught inside the 25.
And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game.
He's got a man, complete.
Now he's into the clear again.
Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. 77 yards.
And the Niners come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And they run the option on 2nd down.
Now the ball comes loose.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. A great play there. with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Shaun Alexander for the second most in a single year.
And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And that CD, another sack for the young rookie linebacker. Well, getting after the quarterback certainly has not been much of a problem here in his rookie season.
It certainly hasn't, Brandon. And the instincts that have made him a great tackler, I think coupled along with some film study and some great anticipation, that's also made him a great pass rusher as well.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite third and long on the horizon.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. That's caught by Jackson. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Here's the 2nd and 7. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Touchdown 49ers. A big play there, with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Niners get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this 35-0 now. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
He'll keep it himself.
And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Final minute now of the third quarter. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. This is taken at about the 14.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And they will take over first and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown. A great effort there. A dynamo since the break. 3 third-quarter touchdowns.
And the 49ers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
Extra point right down the middle, and it is 42-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. He'll look to throw.
That's complete to Dell. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll look to throw.
He'll get that one to Taylor, complete.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding Green, complete. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
He'll return it from the 6. A good return there, 17 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Watch out now. Safety Fury.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Now the try here for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like, what feels good to you and what feels good to your team? You're down big. You really have, like, one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Throw left side complete. That's Wilkins. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. The offense on third down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And that's caught inside the 35. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
Maybe get any type of points on the board. It'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it?
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back.
That's caught at the 25.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down, and he'll have it by plenty, as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down.
Steps away to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
And Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people and their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop.
The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
2nd and 10.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So for the 49ers, They continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next.